past. I've done some English teaching in voluntary in Poland and Spain. I've just been for my first PCR test. Fucking hell. Like a total nut. Once I got there, they're really lovely people and everything. I hope it comes back right. Some sort of abandoned multi-story thing. Fucking forgot that there was a pillar behind me, crashed my car. So I've negotiated the sale of that, actually, and I fucking crashed it. That was it. That's what's gone before. If you want to have a look at part one, I'll link to the part one video in the description. But just look on my channels, and it's the next video before. So we flew out of England to Geneva with a red health code. Okay, the reason I got a red health code is, I believe, not a fault of mine. I believe it's because they didn't read the application correctly. Not that I'm criticising anybody, but I used the same company, but two different locations. One was in Birmingham, one was in London, and it said don't use the same laboratory for your health code. It's got to be two different laboratories, and it was two different laboratories. Just because they were the same company, Express Test, they said it's not good enough. We're classing that as the same company. So that's why I got a red code. So I flew to Geneva anyway, thinking that I was supposed to fly to Geneva, 2-hour layover in Geneva, then fly on to Abu Dhabi. Then from Abu Dhabi I was due to fly to Seoul, South Korea. And then from Seoul, South Korea, I was due to fly to Hangzhou in China. Problem was, the second and third legs of my flights were part of one itinerary, and the fourth leg was a different company. Even though it was all one itinerary, I should say, the fourth leg was through a different airline. That meant that as far as Etihad, who were doing leg 2 and 3, cared, I was finishing in South Korea. So I'm not finishing, because I'm going to go straight on to Hong Kong in China, because you didn't actually have to have you could do the negative test, so it's a lot easier to get into Hong Kong at the time. And they said, no, you're stopping in South Korea, that's all we can see on your itinerary, so you've got no visa for South Korea. Now, you don't need a transit visa, that's why I had not sorted it out. I thought I was just going to be going. So they said, you're not going anywhere, I'm ever so sorry, you can't enter South Korea without a visa. I said, but I'll be out within hours. I'll be on the next flight out of there to Hong Kong. I said, well, we can't guarantee that. You certainly won't be flying on to Hangzhou because you've got a red certificate. So we can let you on the flight. You can arrive in South Korea. Great. And then in South Korea, they'll corral you to one side. So you haven't got a visa. You've got to go. They'll put you on the next plane home. And then you'll have to pay for it. Or I can not let you fly. I was like, oh, I can understand your point then. And he says, to be honest, I'm like, I can't let you fly anyway. It's part of my job, because it's just going to cause problems. There's no point in letting you fly. So that was it. I'd had no sleep apart from about an hour on the plane. I'd been up all night. I was in the middle of Switzerland, Geneva, Switzerland, with nowhere to stay. And in the airport, I couldn't get any Wi-Fi whatsoever. Didn't know what to do. I was in a real mess. No data on my phone, no Wi-Fi, no roaming, no nothing. And didn't know what to do. Couldn't navigate new Google Maps to find a hotel. Didn't know where anything was. Nothing booked. So I ended up making a phone call to my brother. And I don't know why, it was one of the miracles of the world, or whatever. It must give you a day or two roaming before it cuts you off, because I hadn't got roaming on my phone. Phoned my brother. Luckily, the call went through. My brother picked up the phone call, and I said, I'm in a right mess here. A right mess. Explained the situation. He ended up on the phone to me. He was on Google Maps at home in Geneva from the airport, he directed me to the nearest hotel. Like, turn left, turn right. What are you looking at? What's the road name, etc. It was a right nightmare, and I'll always be very, very grateful to him for that. I'll be grateful to him for this trip in so many ways. It's unbelievable. Finally, the panic it's horrible feeling. Finally got to the hotel. It was an Ibis budget hotel, in the middle of industrial place. I'm booked in for 2 nights, 300 odd quid, Switzerland. Beautiful country, expensive, like you wouldn't believe. Anyway, that's where we're up to. Right then, quick sit rep. Right, quick sit rep. Currently in a hotel room. Where? Well, there's my case, there's my coat, there's my everything. Switzerland. So it's 24 hours after I got to the airport. I flew to Switzerland. Everything was lovely. Then got a lovely stamp in my passport, a Swiss stamp. And then was refused boarding. Well, right, so at the airport, you've heard about it. I got refused entry to fly via Etihad Airways to... Let's switch this around. I'll just do it like this. There's me. So, I got refused entry to the airport. It says, where are you going? It says Abu Dhabi, right? And then you're going on to Seoul. It says, yeah. It says, oh. According to this is your final destination is Seoul. Do you have your visa for Seoul, please? I said, no. I was originally going to China, but I can't go now because they've given me a red health code. So I'm going to go from Seoul to Hong Kong. Oh, no, this says your final destination is Seoul. And then China, you can't go to China without a green health code. I said, no, we're going to go to Hong Kong. Yeah, but you'll be entering Seoul and you've got no visa. Right, so what do I do then? You don't fly and you sort yourself out from there, sunshine. So there I was, Geneva Airport, refused entry to the flight and just told, on your bike, sunshine. So... Luckily, I had no internet, I had no mobile, well, I've got a SIM card in my phone, but that was it. The internet I couldn't get on because you need a Swiss phone number to actually get on the internet at the airport. So, I actually phoned my brother, and I don't know how, because I ain't got roaming on my mobile. Somehow, it actually went through, and I managed to speak to him, and he managed to go on Google Maps, and he directed me to the nearest hotel, which is the Ibis Styles here near the airport. And that was a laugh walking through, because you can't walk down the main highway to get to the Ibis Styles. You have to walk through the tiny little village thing that's around it. Oh, awful. Have a look on Google Maps, you'll see. Loads of weird little walkways I've had to walk through here. Fuck my coat, because I was dragging it on my suitcase. And it was dragging on the floor. And it's completely fucked now. So, yeah, that's done that in. So, I booked in for 2 nights. Have a look at the money. I'll do your room tour in a minute. The money here is mental. Check this out. What is that? I've played Monopoly. The money don't look that good. Look at the money. Anyway. Oh, and here's some... All the coins look the same. But, so, I'll stop wafting you around. It's time from... Oh, yeah, it looks as though we're going to be sorting out that I might actually be able to fly out of Zurich. I've got to get a train to Zurich airport tomorrow morning, fly out from there. Looks as though I'm going to be going via Thailand, and then from Thailand to Hong Kong. So my contact at Haida is sorting that out as we speak. So let's do a very quick room tour. So there's the door. You put your key card in there for the lights. Okay. Standard hotel room. Ignore the rubbish on the floor and the bed. So, room first. It's telly, stool, bedside cabinet. They've got in there. They've actually got USB chargers, which is pretty cool. Brought some Pringles. They don't taste the same as the ones you get at home. Just some utilitarian type wardrobe type business. I found a random empty bottle of water on this table when I come in, but apart from that, the room has been spotless, so I can't moan. Desk area. Back on the camels. I can tell you back in Europe. Back on the camels. Anyway, I came to Europe in 2005 and I smoked camels then. A plastic chair, which is a bit of a shame. A bag I brought from the shop. And let's go to the bathroom. Can't fault the quality, to be fair. I thought that they'd only left basically what are flannels. They're the hand towels actually, but I discovered late last night after I'd had a shower, when I sat down on the toilet, that they got the bath towels under there, which was quite annoying. Anyway, ignore the beers there. There's a lovely big sink, very nice. Sink doesn't hold water because you can use the bathroom sink in these places as a fridge and keep your beers cold. Just put some cold water in, it really does work. You get about 10 degrees cooler. Gorgeous shower, really gorgeous, and a bog. So that's my room. I'm currently in Geneva, in Switzerland. I've got another night here after today, trying to sort everything out. Oh my fucking god, I'm going back to bed for a bit in a minute. Anyway, right, speak soon, bye bye. Just to prove I'm actually in Switzerland, coming through a lovely little park. If you look through them trees there, see the grey thing, well you can't really see it now. Wait till we come out of here. Have a look, right there you can see it. See all that smoke, you see that big line there? That's the Swiss Alps. There you go. Swiss Alps. Fantastic. Right, I'm going to need... Looks as though... No, that's went to Hong Kong. Before I go through Thailand, I'm going to need some of these. Their regulations now say... rapid antigen test prior to... 24 hours prior to boarding the flight. Look at the Alps. That's going to actually take you to Hong Kong 24 hours before entry. So if I have got another night here and I'm hoping to have a little nap now and then go for a little wander about and see what's about, have a look at that predominantly in the sunlight. But if I take one 24 hours, my itinerary says that I'll be boarding the flight for Hong Kong tomorrow morning. No, the day after tomorrow. No, I don't know. Yeah, the day after tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. I think. So if tomorrow, before I get on my before I get my train to Zurich, it will be about 7:30 a.m. actually. It's fucking horrible timing. Here's what I was looking at. Hotels there with spots on, unbelievable. Tomorrow morning, take the test about 7:30 before I leave for the train. No, in fact, about 6. Well, anyway, I'll do that, and then I'm within 24 hours of when I get on the plane. So if at Geneva they're a bit overzealous and say, well, I've got the result here, it's quite clear. And yeah, fucking let me on. Right, here's the hotel anyway. Weird little entry, industrial around here. Right, see ya. Right, here's one for you. You might notice a subtle difference in these banknotes that I showed you earlier, particularly this one. Now, all the banknotes in Switzerland have got these hands on, okay? You see? They're like hands. There's hands, that's the 100. There's 20, it's got a different type of hand on, okay? The back is just usual nonsense that goes on banknotes. Hand, okay? This green one. Hand, but the eagle-eyed amongst you will have noticed there was a face on it earlier. Well, in mid-2021, I don't know, I'm doing this through the back of my phone, so I don't know if it's there. Mid-2021, they changed, so you might get the odd one that doesn't have a hand. It's got a face of a famous person. They're the old ones, no longer legal tender. Check your money. I got one, luckily. I'm staying in very good, the Ibis Hotel here near Geneva Airport. Just very good, swapped it back over for me because I got it in the change from here. Swapped it over, no issues. So that is fantastic. So I do recommend this hotel because I was expecting to get, oh, we can't do anything about that and so on and so forth. But no, just swapped over. Sorry, sir. Great. Right then, which was nice. Right then, just let you know that's what the money looks like. Okay. Another little tip on travelling abroad. Hands on Swiss banknotes. Right, see ya. Yeah, so spent the rest of the day having a little walk round Geneva in Switzerland. It was really nice. Photographed they've got some sheep in a field right next to the main road. Tiny little field. Like literally could walk round it in about 90 seconds. And they've got about 10 sheep in it, and it was literally in the middle of the city. Bizarre that was, but fantastic. That's what you travel for, to see stuff like that. Spent the rest of the day mooching around, having a look at different stuff. A couple of beers that night in the hotel bar. And then a couple in the room. And then next morning I was up and it was pitch dark and it was raining. I remember it. And I got back into the airport, because at the airport is where the train station is. I had a 3.5 hour train ride between Geneva in Switzerland, which is one end of the country, to Zurich in Switzerland. And I got to be in Zurich for, I think it was about 11 o'clock in the morning or 11:30, because my flight out of Zurich straight to Bangkok was going to leave in like 1:30 in the afternoon. And it was going to be a 10.5 hour flight, arriving at like 6 a.m. the next morning in Bangkok in Thailand. So next footage is me on the train, and I remember the lady that ended up sat next to me. She was really polite, really friendly, really fit. Am I allowed to say that? She was beautiful, actually. But I don't know what she'd had for breakfast apart from the garlic, but it was that strong, it was tickling my nose, to be honest with you. But, you know, it's good for you, so there's nothing wrong with that. So, yeah, this bit of footage I got from the train ride. On the train. Oh, dear. We got to Zurich International Airport, plenty of time. Went to check in, spoke to the lady. She was from Thailand. It was Thai Airways we were flying with. She was checking us in. She literally said, we had all that business with the RAT test, rapid antigen test, and worried that we weren't going to get on. She just said, have you done a rapid antigen test in the last 24 hours? I went, yeah, I've got a photo. She went, no, you've done it. Fine. Negative. I went, yeah. Okay, no problem. Checked me in and everything. Because the final destination was Hong Kong, flying Thai Airways both legs. They were on a 0+3 system at the time, which meant no quarantine, just 3 days self-monitoring, and make sure you've done a test before you come. And it was just like word of mouth. So I could have like not actually done that. But I'm glad I did do it, to be honest with you. Just because it's better to follow the rules and everything. So that was it. There I was at Zurich International Airport. I remember my dinner as well. I had a Big Mac and fries with a Coke Zero because I'm watching the weight. Right, and there we were, ready to go.
Eine Sicherheitsanweisung der Polizei. Lassen Sie Ihr Gepäck unbeaufsichtigt.
There we are.
Bemerken Sie verdächtige Aktivitäten.
Off to Bangkok. Away we go. Just a note about Bangkok airport. So I was on my layover, 2.5, 3 hours or something layover in Bangkok before I flew on to Hong Kong. Bangkok's Suvarnabhumi airport. I can't say it. Look it up. Bangkok's big airport. They call it the gateway to Southeast Asia. I've heard it described as that. It's the biggest airport you could imagine, right? I looked where my gate was, once I'd exited, done all that and some of that, I didn't have to collect my bags or anything, just had to go through arrivals and then navigate through to departures and stuff. And there's special lanes and stuff if you're literally transiting and all that, and it's really well laid out. But then I noticed where my gate was. It was like gate 6,436 or something mad like that. What was that? And it's like, and I looked on the board, how do you get to gate? And well, not the board, sorry, there's signs all over, gates, this such and such this way. And I was going down all this, gates this way. And it slowly filters it down as you go on. My gate must have been the furthest gate out. And it tells you the walking time for all the gates from where you were. My gate said a 29-minute walk. 29 minutes. I used to be able to walk to it. Where I lived in England, I used to be able to walk to a different town. Like literally a different town if you walked half an hour. Totally different place. And I was like, that can't be right. It can. And the entire way, you're literally just walking through a shopping mall. The whole way. It just goes on and on and on. Every shop you've ever heard of in the world is in this shopping mall. And you can just see hordes of these air stewardesses and pilots walking about and loads of passengers and that. And all I wanted to do was buy a drink. I was knackered after 10.5 hours on the plane. My arse, because I'd done 3.5 hours on the train before it as well. My arse. It was horrible. Like, it really starts to hurt being forced to sit down for that long. And they gave us 2 meals as well. And you sort of went overnight on the flight, so I didn't end up having a night where there was no sleep because we were going so quickly forward in time. So got on the flight at 1:30 in the afternoon, spent 10.5 hours on the flight, and arrived at like 6 in the morning because you've gone forward like 7 hours in time as well. So it was like, oh, the night's... I've missed a night there, you know. But I didn't feel that bad. I didn't feel that jet lagged. And because I didn't sleep at all on that flight, it didn't mean I kind of got jet lagged. When it come to that night, I was ready to go to bed and sleep well. So we've arrived, I've gone through Bangkok airport. There was a lady on the plane and she was walking around the plane about every hour. She got this little baby with her. And she was just her, really young lady. She sort of got like wild braided hair. She looked like a bit of like a New Age traveller type. Not New Age traveller, like a modern traveller type who, like me, wishes they were born 30 years earlier in the sort of like late 60s or late 50s so you could experience the 70s doing all hitchhiking, travelling. But there we are, mind you. Yeah, and she was sat down. She'd walked all the way and she weren't far from the gate where I was getting on to go to Hong Kong. And she was just sat there with a baby. She'd laid out a blanket and that. She was just playing. I was just like, she is amazing. She's just not letting anything get in her way. She's doing what she's doing and taking the baby along for the ride. And she's looking after it and everything. It was absolutely lovely. It just was. I wanted to like photograph her and say, you're living the dream. But didn't, because you don't do that. You can't just walk up and go. So that'd be a bit weird, wouldn't it? But anyway, yeah, so that was good. Got on our connecting flight to Hong Kong, 2.5 hours. We had to fill out all sorts of forms and stuff when we arrived in Hong Kong. Anyway, it was really weird. So we got into Hong Kong, and I remember when you arrive in Hong Kong at the airport, take the Airport Express. It's 110 Hong Kong dollars, and it takes you smack into the middle of the city. Because the airport's well out on the islands, okay. Get on into the city, and my hotel was a part of Mirador Mansion. It's right next door to Chung King Mansions, okay. Anyone who's been to Hong Kong, Nathan Road runs right down the middle of Hong Kong, and there, towards the bottom, you're only literally a 2-minute walk down to the bay, not the bay, just the water and the sort of strait between Hong Kong Island and the mainland, as it were. So, but them two places, they're full of cheap hotels, and I booked it while I was in Switzerland, not realising. Well, fucking hell, for want of a better word, because Chungking Mansions and Mirador Mansions. Take a look at my hotel in Hong Kong. Right then, sit rep time. I'm in Hong Kong. I have made it to Hong Kong. Cheers everybody. So here's the door to my hotel room, or motel. It's called the Toronto Motel. Look, and on this angle, it's a non-smoking room. Okay. And everything's fine. A few marks on the door. A few early warning signs there. But yeah, there's the room to my hotel. Now, let's have a look. So, immediately to the left of the door is that wall, which is a bit worrying. And then that's the walkway beside the bed. Okay. Oh, maybe it improves as it moves out. No, because that's where it finishes, you see. And then that's that for that part of the room, okay? I've got a nice hairdryer there. I've got some cordage hanging out the wall. I don't quite know what it's for. Maybe it's for the telly, which is right up there. Don't know why it's there though, it doesn't work. And then we've got some shit that I've just generally been gathering into, let me stand back so you can get the full effect of this here. There's the shower. On that angle it doesn't look as bad as it is, but allow me to investigate further. Let's, for example, look around the sink area. Somewhat concerning. Let's have a look in this corner where stuff's actually beginning to grow because the water's leaking all over the place. And inside the shower unit is the toilet. Good flush on it though, I'll grant you. And there's the shower unit, and that's just lovely. At least there is soap. You know, look on the positives. There is soap. I don't know if I want to use it though. There's me. So there's a mirror. It's not been cleaned though. At all. Okay. Some sort of hooks there. It is a bit concerning really. You'd be alright if you're English. Or from Great Britain. Because they've all got English plug sockets on. So they must have brought the plug sockets home. Asian fellas who speaks English come halfway around the world and come up, met the same bloke who's in my local corner shop. Probably makes me sound a little bit racist where I shouldn't be sounding, but you know, sort of exactly. I reckon he must have done, because all his plug sockets are English plug sockets, and all his appliances have got English plugs on. And look at that, that's nice. But let's focus on the positives. Positives are, oh, and there's no window in the room. Like, no window. Which is really odd. Positives. There's aircon, and it works. It's chucking some cold air out. It's pretty good. It's still hot. It's October the 13th here in Hongus Congus. And it's fucking boiling. It's like nearly 30 degrees outside. And, despite its appearances, which are a bit scary, that, oh fucking hell, is a working fridge in the room, which I've stocked up suitably. So, cheers everybody. Might as well. I was trying to find snow beer, but I appear to have found something even cheaper than that, which is in the form of blue ice beer. It looks like White Lightning from back home. It's ice filtered, it's 5%. And these are only, well, let's always spin it up to the 7-Eleven and you get little stickers with your purchases for reasons which escape me. And they got an old man trying to do his shopping and they were ushering the poor old bastard out, like, quite rude. Oh, right, actually I can't. I think it's the cheapest one, 11 quid. $11 a can, that is. That's, well, $11 in English pounds. I'll come back and tell you. Conversion, it's £1.26 for that can, so it's still 4 for a fiver. Which ain't that cheap after all. Back on the camels still. Got them in Switzerland. Look at the money. Fucking look at the money. Look, none of the notes look the same. Oh, just to make me a liar, I've got 2 tenors that are the same now. Or have I? No, I haven't. Look, they are different. They're both £10 notes, but they don't look the same. That just doesn't work for me. I've spent another 100, but the 100 looked different. The other one looked different. I got 500, which everywhere is saying we're not taking them because of forgeries. Well, there we go. Right then, I'm gonna have a beer. Cheers, everybody. Well, I know I got at least 3 nights in Hong Kong, so the next day I'd had an amazing night's sleep. The bed was comfortable. It was a fucking unbelievable place. Mirador Mansions, but the bed was beautiful. So the next day I thought, well, I'm here in Hong Kong, let's go for a little walk, and so I did, and I got this very high quality footage for you. Got a little bit of time to play about in Hong Kong, so I did, and I booked a COVID test in order, a proper PCR test, do it on your second day after arriving in Hong Kong or something. Check out the rules are all changed now anyway, haven't they? That's sort of like put it all behind them, but at the time I had to do a COVID test and it was across the water. So I looked into ways of getting across the water, and there was a ferry available, and I did a bit of research and it said the best way to get across the water is the ferry. It's so much fun, so I thought, let's give it a go. Once I've been on the ferry, it was just magical to look at the sights and everything. Came back, we were looking at getting the flight out of Hong Kong into Hangzhou in China, where I am now. The problem was, realistically, it was going to be 5 days before I could get a flight, okay, which meant I needed two more nights in Hong Kong. So I was able to book a new hotel, and that's where we went. Goodbye, Mirador Mansions, and thank God I was out of there. This was the new hotel. Right then, I have now arrived at my new hotel. For 2 nights, one night, it turns out I've paid for 2, but I'm going to have to check out at like 1 AM, which is just absolutely insane, but I'm planning on sleeping an awful lot tomorrow. So, let me give you a room tour. Let's see what an extra 40 quid per night gets you. Yeah? You ready? Here we go. So you come in here. Here's the panel. Big difference already, right? I'm going to bring you this way first. And it's an actual hotel room. And it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. So this is the desk here. Okay. Beautiful big desk. Absolutely stunning. Stunning, stunning, stunning. Right? Television. Picture's awful. Tried it. I'm currently on the 33rd floor. Look at this for a high-tech lamp. Check this out. Bang. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, I'm not going to be editing this until I get to my next my quarantine hotel though, because I've got 10 days to kill there. I hope I get there though. We're on the 33rd floor, so that, my friends, is the view. Check that out. A long way down. An awful long way down. But it's fabulous. It's fabulous up here. It really is. Right, onto the bed. And just to make me ignorance clear, English plug socket again. So they use English style plug sockets here in Hong Kong. Didn't know that. So I'll stop criticising the previous hotel. Although, Jesus, it was terrible. Right, here we go. Look at that. Look at that bed. Look, free slippers. This is a very Chinese thing. Beautiful. Free slippers. I'm going to keep them and all. There's me. Lovely. You get a robe to wear. How cool is that? An actual robe. I don't think you can keep the robe, but I'm sure them slippers will be keepable because they're in a sealed plastic bag. Unless you give them back to go and get washed, and then I better not take them. But the pièce de résistance is this little beauty here. Fucking lovely this is. Sorry, I just swore. Right, I don't know how to show it you. So there's shower unit there. So this is the doorway. Can't make it out. So this is the doorway here as you go in. The shower's like a glass cubicle there. Look at the space you've got as well. Fucking lovely. Although it doesn't have a door on this end. That's annoying. Oh, I would have liked to be able to close that door. But again, look at that. Fucking lovely. You've got shampoo and bath gel. Locked in. Beautiful. This is absolutely stunned by this. Then you've got your toilet. Plenty of toilet roll. Your sink. Got a bath mat under the sink if you want it. There's a drawer here. What's in there? Oh, hairdryer and some extra tissues. Very nice. Very nice indeed. God, why the fuck didn't I... Look at this. Why didn't I spend more money? So I get my shower cap, which I won't need. I'll leave that there. Don't want it. Dental set. So you get a free toothbrush and toothpaste as well. But I'm going to use my own. Take them with me because I think they're lovely. So look at this nice toothbrush as well. That is. And toothpaste there. Fucking lovely. So I've got to stop swearing. Glass. That's useful for brushing my teeth. Because I'm not doing it with the tap water. You get some soap. That's going to stay in there. I'll use my own because I've got one on the go from El Shithole that I stayed at last time. I won't be leaving him a review because I don't like leaving bad reviews. Fucking hell. I've just done it again. And this is spectacular. This is absolutely lovely. Well, there we go. What a difference. What a difference, in fact. Right, I might have a shower. I'll check where I've got to do my COVID test. I don't even know if I need a COVID test now. This afternoon. I might as well fucking go and do it. There's no else doing. I'll come back and get on the beer. Might as well. Got a nice desk. Is there what's this here? Is this a fridge? It is. Is it on? Got a little fridge here and all. Oh, what's this now? Look, open that. And there's a... I've got mugs. I can have a coffee in my room. Oh. This is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I'm over the moon with this. Bin. Get some more bags if I wanted. But, well, it's only little bins, but I can deal with them easily. This is fucking brilliant, like. I wonder what that is. Just a little drawer. iClub Shung Wan Hotel. Now the downside. Dear guest, in view of the current pandemic situation, hotel with immediate effect will charge $2,500 per room as is disinfection free to all hotel room guests who are classified as preliminary or confirmed cases during the stay at hotel or within 24 hours of departing the hotel. Any assistance, please feel free to contact our front desk service team. Fuckers. Let me tell you. That's bad. So I can't be getting COVID, but then to be honest with you, 250 quid if I get COVID is the very least of my problems, frankly. Is there like oops, I think I've just fucked the desk. Is there where am I supposed to plug the kettle in though? That's the question. Might have to be kettling on the floor. Yeah. I'll have to have a coffee. Assuming the tap water's safe to drink once I've boiled it. I hope so. Is there somewhere else I could plug this in? No. Right, anyway, sorry, I'm just waffling on. Right, see you in a bit. And that was it. The morning after, I went to see a friend, Lily Igraine. Really good friend. The night after. Lovely. No, that night actually went out to see her. Fantastic. Come home, slept. Next day, didn't do an awful lot. I had to walk around and everything. And then that night, checked out at midnight because I was flying out at like 6:30 a.m. or something, and I had to have the whole PCR test thing and stuff. From Hong Kong going into mainland China, it's a lot less strict. So all I've got to do, go to the airport, have my PCR test in plenty of time for it to come back green and ready for the flight, and there we go, I'd be away. Or would I? Yeah, things did most definitely go tits up again. And I got stuck in Hong Kong. So that's going to be coming in part 3. It was a nightmare, let me tell you. Right, you'll find out. See you later. Take care in the next one.